welcome to the pre-broadcast cast of another Veterans View for You Talk and Tie Live. Use this time before 6 o'clock to get the word out. That way it gives me a few minutes to hit that share button. Gives you guys a chance to hit the share button. It's where it all goes down. This is a special. It's where it all. All right. We are good. Alright, now to hit that share button a few times, build up a little bit of an audience here. Let's see. So if you are joining me on this wonderful Christmas evening of Christmas, not to be confused with Christmas Eve, I welcome you to my live stream. We have a special treat. I'm going to say, join me, I am live streaming. Sometimes it's just so much easier to say what you want to say as your post. And I will share this post. So tonight, for this live stream, will be doing a unboxing of a Postfly Box. It's a monthly subscription. It was a Christmas gift. I've opened it up, I've poked around at it a little bit, and I actually had to do some R&D engineering. You'll see what I'm getting to here in a little bit. It's a lot of fun. It's thinking outside of the box. But you know, it's adapting and overcoming and all that jazz. So yeah, there we go. All right, well, I've hit that share button 3 or 4 times. Let me do one more. I got 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. You know, I just have to get the word out to build my audience, to share the word. It's a lot of fun. What can I say? You know, I do this, you know, for you, but I do it mainly for myself. Not to sound greedy or anything like that. It is what it is. Make sure the volume is turned down there, and I can turn on my live chat there. Actually, I have a tablet suspended above my fly bench because the surface space of a workstation is invaluable. There's no real price you can put on real estate for the bench. So looks like I have 3 people watching. Hello, good evening, greetings and salutations. Yeah, It was a wonderful Christmas Eve at the Hiesingfeld house. Had a roaring fire in the fireplace all day. Christmas music, good food, presents galore. I'm excited for these Postfly boxes. I think it's a neat concept. It's a neat concept, and who knows if you know anybody who works for the Postfly Box company, share this video with them. This is going to be an interesting run through, but nonetheless, it will be a lot of fun. Good evening, Jessica. All right, just a few more moments, and we shall begin. Thinking I should have got water, but we'll run through it anyways. So yeah, next live stream will be next Sunday, which is New Year's Day, and I will be tying the first fly of the year, New Year's Day. It will be a wonderful celebration, getting rid of 2016, but 2017 is going to be an interesting year, to say the least. To say the least. All right, beep, 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 beep. Here we go. Hello and welcome to Veterans View for You. My name is Aaron, and I am a veteran. And here we go. This is a Christmas talk and tie. And for this talk and tie, I will be doing a unboxing of a monthly subscription package called the Postfly Box. It's something I was looking at. I've been looking at for a while. It's one of those things you see come up on Facebook, and you really want to take some time and get the word on it. What's the deal? So I've already opened it. It was a Christmas present, so I had to crack open the box right away. Let me see if I can't. I really don't have that much real estate to work with here, but bear with me. So, opening the box, it's good packaging. Comes with this thing of literature. It's got some interesting tips and facts. We'll kind of do a quick run through on there. Some good pictures. It's a newspaper quality print job on there. Talks a little bit about the program. Some different fly patterns that they offer, some tips and tricks, some things to look out and live by, but most importantly, what is included in this beautiful paper is my recipe for my fly. We'll get to that here in a minute. Also in my box, I got some Rio fly tying or fly line cleaning towelette. It's always good to keep your fly lines clear of debris, that slime and grime from the rivers or lakes. Keep your stuff clean. It's a good tool. Keep your tools clean. Also included, looks like we got some Follow the Leader 9-foot tapered and awesome. This is a 4X, which means the butt section starts at 0.53. The tippet diameter is 0.18. And it's about a 4.9 test line. Hey, that's pretty cool. Postfly From all of us, Postfly, tight lines. Tight lines, my friends. This is pretty neat. 9 foot and 4X tapered leader. A fun little Merry Fishmas sticker. I think that's pretty neat. I really dig the artwork. Whoever did the artwork on this, I dig it. I really dig it. The color is beautiful, and I don't know. It's simple. I like it. Merry Fishmas. Matt, I am just opening my Postfly box right now as we speak. And the meat and potatoes of the box is this little bag right here, where it contains all of the goodies. Like I said, I cracked this open New Year's Eve. I wanted to see what it was inside. I could not wait for the live stream. So included in this package, I didn't go too deep into it. Get the hooks out of the way. The fly that I got is the Kreelex, Kreelex, silver, and then materials to make the gold. All this packaging is pretty good and organized, a little taped together. This is, let's pull out the fly. Let's pull out the sample, Exhibit A. You know, at first glance, you know, I think like anybody else who would see this and have recognized and have fished it all, recognize it almost kind of like a clouser. You know, it reminds me of a clouser, but this is all flash. So we're gonna tie one of these up tonight here on the live stream after we finish unpackaging. Blue and silver and pearl flash. That's all it is, and dumbbell eye. Yeah, pretty neat. We'll set that off to the side. Hooks. Let's see. Let's open up one of the hooks. We're gonna tie this up. I'm not gonna tie all of them up tonight. Let me grab my. Where is that? My hook gauge is somewhere other than right in front of me as far as size. So I can't say for certain exactly what size of hook this is, but it appears that I can lose them really quick. Anyways, we'll get that in the vise and turn that up a little bit. We'll get back to eye level, my level. So hooks, it appears that there are a dozen. Yep, a dozen hooks. So that's how many flies you can tie, at least with the amount of hooks that are provided. A dozen flies, that's pretty good. If you can't learn how to tie a pattern in a dozen flies, well, tie a dozen more. That's all that I can say. So we'll get that out of the way. Some gold and silver wire for the two different colored flies. I have gold dumbbell eyes. Let's see here, we also have some kind of a chrome tungsten looking dumbbell eyes. I like these dumbbell eyes. It's pretty good. I have some brown rusty thread and I have some black thread. I like the options of the threads. And for the two different colors, I have the silver and blue Flashaboo. And then we have orange and gold Flashaboo. And then pearl, which is, I guess, the common element between the two different patterns, at least color selection. Now, One of the things that I noticed, one of the first things that I noticed in this package, and I was curious as to how they were gonna work this out, but the thread, that is something that I had to think about for a few minutes. And how do I get this thread on my bobbin? Now, if you say, check this out, that's a big, big difference as far as size. Another thing is when you get it on your bobbin, you want it to have some sort of tension. It needs something. It can't just do nothing. And you know, I guess I could just hold this and use my hand. This is a relatively thin thread. Not exactly sure. Feels almost like a 8/0 thread or so. Anyways, so I came up with this idea of how to work with this thread and this style bobbin, and I thought about using a pen and making a shaft and this and that, but what I ended up using was a small wire nut. And I can take this wire nut and with a little press I can get it to stay in the spool. And the diameter of that is as such, so it all stays on there. And you know, it's not the smoothest of pulls. It's kind of, you can feel the grit behind it, but it works. And you know, I'm a patient person. I can take my time while tying this fly, and what do you bet I don't break the thread? That's definitely a gamble. But yeah, that's my solution. Call that a fly tying hack, if you will, a hack or bodge, whatever you want to call it. It's a solution, now I could easily, you know, tie with something that I already have, but hey, I want to work with what was given to me. This is all part of the learning experience. So without any further ado, we will tie up this Kreelex. We'll get the vise in its position. So once again, thank you all for joining me. Do me a favor, hit that share button. Let's get the word out. Christmas Day, we are doing a talk and tie. So I tied on that black thread onto that bobbin. So I will be working with the blue and silver material. See if we can't get a better angle on the hook, and I bet you we can zoom in just a little bit and we'll get the real light on. Alright, so the hook is in the vise, and by the way, I am just following the recipe that came along with the material and the fly box. Step 1, put your hook in the vise and lay down a few wraps of wire on the shank. So I am using this silver wire. Everything that I'm using came with the kit. I'm not straying away with anything. And let's pick an end of the silver wire. Here we go. All right, we'll just cast on a few wraps of the silver wire. And then we will secure the dumbbell eyes with strong wraps of the wire. So we are going to attach the dumbbell eyes with the wire. All right. Dumbbell eyes and attaching it with the wire. Now this is a little different than what I've tied with. I've never used wire directly to tie on dumbbell eyes, but I suppose if I do it the same as I do it with just regular thread, I can't go wrong. So I'm just going to do a figure 8 pattern. Couple wraps in the front. Then I'm going to go over the shank, under the eye a couple of times. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. All right. Secured the dumbbell eyes with strong wraps, leaving room for a thread dam. Got plenty of room for the thread dam. So I'm going to trim this off. You know, one thing to be said about this wire, so far, you know, it's like the limiting factors on flies tied from the kit. Well, at most, you can tie directly from the kit will be 12, based on the number of hooks and dumbbell eyes. However, I think I have enough wire here to definitely go far beyond that initial dozen flies with the material provided. Alright, so I got this black thread. I'm just going to cast on my black thread here. And we'll see if we can't secure this down as well. One thing I know I cannot do is put too much pressure on my bobbin as my thread is being held with a wire nut. But it is what it is. Alright. So let's see here. Alright. I have attached my thread to the hook. I've secured it with strong wraps, and now it wants me to work my thread back and come in with some UV clear to really hone in on these dumbbell eyes. Really want these locked down good in tight. So we'll give that a quick zap with the ultraviolet. It's a really interesting technology, this ultraviolet resin. Is it considered a resin? I don't know. It's a finish. And yep. I don't know why. It's one of those things that I don't know why, but I feel like I have to poke at it afterwards to make sure that it worked, even though there's all but a guarantee it's going to work. Anyways, all right, tie in. Step 5 is tie in a bunch of flashabou, extending a shank's length past the hook's bend. All right. So let's see here. Looking at the model, I am going to tie in the blue. Start off with some of this light blue Flashaboo. All right. How much you think I should go for? Should I go for the whole clump? I mean, I'm going to get 6 flies out of this, so I should divide this into 6. Wow. So we will divide this up by 6. So we'll do 3 on either side. So each side of the zip tie, I can basically pull this into thirds, which I think that'll be plenty. All right, that's roughly a third of one side. All right, so we are going to take this 1 hook's length past the bend, which will be right about there. It's kind of hard to see. I guess one critique I have so far, it's kind of hard to see see the directions, see the pictures in the directions. Little piece of deer hair. I've been working on some other patterns. So we'll get this in there. And it wants me to take all the thread, take all the material forward in front of the eyes. So we'll just keep working our thread forward. Get some of the tension off. Okay, that's enough to the rear, and we'll bring our thread forward. All right. And it looks like at that point, after it goes forward, it gets folded back over. Okay, apply a few thread wraps in front of the dumbbell eyes and lay the material back along the hook shank and trim. So a few up front, and we'll do a few. You know what, I'm going to do just a few more wraps forward. Just that way I have a little something to bite onto on the front and on the back. All right, so we have that tied in. Beautiful. All right. On to step 2. Okay, we are going to, this is where I wish I had a nice rotary vise. Look at that though, it has been rotorized. Get the hook upside down, and we are going to go with some pearl, flip the fly in the vise, and tie in pearl Flashaboo along the bottom of the shank of the hook. Make sure the material is on equal sides. Now let's see, what do they mean by that? Kind of gently construct. Okay, so I got some on the left and some on the right. All right, I see where they're going at here. I'm going on the sides. So I'm going to just take a small chunk of this pearl, and I call this kind of like the lift method. I was able to bring that all up and around, a couple nice tight wraps, and then I can rotate it over and do a few wraps. And I think that's a beautiful thing. All right, we'll flip this back over to trim. There we go. Okay, I think I'm tracking. We'll trim some of these back. All right. And now I want to do some silver, it looks like. Wrap the thread to the front of the eyes and tie in another clump of speckled flashabout under the hook shank. It should extend just short. So, I suppose if I'm looking at that correct, I want to do just a little bit more. Flashabou. So this time I'm going to do some of the silver. Right? Do I want to do any more of the silver? Yeah, why not? I'm going to do a little bit of silver, and then I'm going to do a little bit more of the blue, and then I'll do a few more sprigs of the silver. Because mine's looking kind of famished in comparison to the example. So I am just going to pull that about halfway. And take a few wraps underneath. So viewers, I am going to ask you, what would you guys like to see up next on my next Talk and Tie Live for New Year's Day? What do you say? And I think we'll do a little bit more. Why I'm not doing my tried and true method of flipping it. And before it gets too squirrely, I'm just going to take that and fold it back. Alright, and it appears, once I get that all done, I'll do a few wraps behind the head, behind the eyes. Here we go. And it's going to do a nice full cone taper. Give it a whip finish. Oh, the thread finally broke. Right after I whip finished it, it broke. Right at that weak point where it was wrapped around the tool. Alright, and as it suggests for durability, I come in here with some more some UV. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Alright. I'm going to get back here. I'm just going to trim some of these back a little bit. You know, I really don't like having all sorts of, you know, a nice, I don't want too much of it cut off clean on the back side. I like having variation in length. It breaks up any kind of pattern that may arise. A nice soft edge on it, if you will. So yeah, I think I tied it in fairly sparse in comparison to its original. I guess I was a little shy on using the material, but you know, it's also the lessons learned on the fly itself. So yeah, mine's looking a little malnourished. I could have moved my eyes forward a little bit. But yeah, I think overall I'm more than satisfied with the kit. So yeah, this definitely has the Veterans View for You stamp of approval, I guess, if I have such thing. So what do you say? Tie up another one. Let's try the other color. I'm gonna slide this other flash blue back into their sleeves, just to get them out of the way. So did everybody get some fly tying something or another for Christmas? Whether it was some material or hooks or tools. What did you guys get? What's the haul, as they say? What did you haul? How was the Christmas haul? Alright, so we are going to shift gears, switch colors, switch thread. I'm going to put these all back over here. The silver goes with that. I will keep the pearl flashabou out. I'm going to switch bobbins, switch threads, going from a black to a rusty brown. Come on now, this is kind of difficult with these metal spools, and I don't want it to come unspooled, so I'm trying to tuck it into, there we go. I was trying to thread it back into itself. All right, so rusty brown thread. Let's see how this stuff works. Let's find an end. And hopefully we can find it and there we go. This looks like it is it. There we go. All right, so with this rusty brown, I'll run it through my threader here. These braces, dental picks are absolutely perfect for this. Just run it right through. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. I used to do the inhale method where you slurp it up like it's a big spaghetti noodle, but you know, it gets old really quick. All right, so I'm going to take my wire nut and give that a little squeeze into there. Oh no. And we will get this into our unit. And we're going to make sure we got that spooled out correctly. All right, I'm going to back some of this thread that I just dropped, and it went all over. I think my little wire nut contraption, I think it works. You know, in a pinch, in a situation, you know, it's all about adapting. So that's my simple solution. Take it for what it is. Yeah, so there. All right, so we're gonna put on another hook and we'll tie on another one using the orange and gold as I drop my hooks in my lap. It's never good. There's a tip for you folks. Don't drop hooks into your lap. It's never good. All right. Digging here off camera. Boy, I really wish I knew where that it could have felt. Oh wait, there it is. Hold on, folks. We're going to dig this out. Bear with me, because I want to check this hook out among my gauge. Fell behind my white wall. I put this whiteboard up there to give a good contrasting background. So let's go ahead and take a look at this hook. We'll see if it's bigger than a size 4. So it looks like it is larger than a size 4. So I'm going to guess it's a size 2. And I'm pretty sure this is a true regular. Yeah, just going with the units of measure I have to work with here. Making it happen. All right, let's try another one of these. What do we call these? I forgot the name of it. This is a Kreelex. Kreelex. This one will be a gold. All right, get the hook in the vise. And all good flies begin, but with what? A single wrap of wire this time. That's one thing I remembered about this pattern. Instead of tying on with thread, I'm going to tie on my dumbbell with the wire. So this is the exception to the rule of all good flies begin with but a single wrap of thread. Well, in this case it will be a wire. Yes, good tip. Always keep a strong magnet handy. I have a few magnets. Whenever I go to vacuum around my bench, I run my magnets around to ensure that I don't vacuum up any hooks. All right, so I saw this trick before, so we'll try this. I saw a guy, this is just casting on the wire. He took his hook tool and he cinched it right up there, and he was able, that worked out really well. And then release it. All right, here we go. Dumbbell eye. This is a gold. I think this whole thing's going to slide around until I hit it with the epoxy, because it's kind of hard to get some good solid, real hard quality tight wraps on this. It's a good sturdy wire though. Got to give it to him. All right, I think that's enough wire on there. Yep. All right, we'll trim off this wire. And we'll cast on our thread. I'll go right behind that eye with that thread. Trim off the tag. So with a few wraps forward and a few wraps to the rear, should lock that in nice and tight. And I'm going to do a few crossing wraps. And I'm going to get my thread out of the way. All right, hit it with some UV, lock that sucker down. This is the example. Make sure I got that eye. See, I still have it back just a little further. I have it back like it's a clouser almost. See if I can't cheat that forward just a little bit. There we go. Fake it till you make it, right guys? Alright, a little bit of the UV clear on here. Really sop that in, get a big blob. Ooh, that was nice. And I'll spread that around nice and even. And before it drips too far, we'll zap it with the ultraviolet. I think it's a beautiful thing. All right, now we're going to do some, let's see here. For the silver and gold, or for the silver and blue, I went with the blue and then the silver. So I'm going to do the orange and then I'm going to do the gold. I'm going to go a little bit heavier on this, I think, as far as use of material. Tied up the first one relatively sparse. So if you're just joining me, this is a Postfly Box unboxing. This was a Christmas gift from my wonderful, wonderful wife, who's A1 supporter of me tying flies. So I'm going to give these just a little bit of a twist just to kind of break up the direction of where those suckers want to fly off to. There we go. Give it a little bit more of an even spread. So I'm going for a shank's length, a 1 hook's length for a portion on that tail. And we'll tie that in here at the back end. I think that's beautiful. And we'll work our thread forward. Keeping our material on the top for now. One stray. Here we go. All right, we are tied in on the back, and we are going to hop over to the front. We're going to tie this in up here, and then we're going to fold back. And leave that there. All right. Before I go too far, I'm going to trim these up a wee bit. Here we go. I think that'll work. What do you guys think? I think it's a beautiful thing. All right, we're going to flip this over, and on the underneath side, we are going to tie in some of this pearl flashaboo. I think this is a very fun pattern. Not going to go too bananas with it because it's going to end up doubled over. All right, and we're going to go for that hook's length again. You know, just keeping everything proportionate, but they want this tied in on the sides. So here is the trick that I'm going to use. I'm going to go up and under and flip it onto its side. I'm at about that hook's length. A few wraps there. And a few wraps to get it over here on this far side. Really lock that down nice and tight. All right, and going to go again. I'm going to do just a little bit more. A little bit more of each. Why not? Just going to tie this in. I'm going to split the difference on either side of that eye and just fold that all back. All right, now for some gold. Really do a sizable clump of this gold. I think there's no such thing as too much gold. I'm excited to catch a sizable bass on this one. I'm sure the gold will really wake those suckers up. Okay, once again, I'm going about that hook's length. And we'll tie this in up here on the front. And fold it back and down. And we'll do a hop over the eyes. I'll flip this hook back over just to get it more at a normalized view. I'm really gonna pull back on those. Skip up here to the front. And we'll do our whip finish. Alright, and I have some major trimming to do here in the back. Again, you know, kind of, you don't want to trim everything off the exact same length. You know, I just get in there with the scissors. Nothing's precise. And finish it off. Some UV clear. Just going to do a dab up there. I think that's almost too much. So we will encourage that to spread around. And give it a zap with the light. So that, my friends, is the Postfly subscription box. This was the Kreelex silver and gold. It's a Flashaboo. It's a Flashaboo clouser. It's a fun pattern. This has definitely got my my stamp of approval on it. I really think this is it's a good niche that they got going on here. So, you know, if you're also paying for convenience. I mean, I could go online and order all these materials and pay for everything individually, but you know, it doesn't show up at my doorstep. I guess I could order it all individually online, but hey, you know, this is something pretty cool. If you're a beginner, if you're learning, if you just like trying out new things, you know, it's a lot of effort trying to, you know, it takes the guesswork out of it. What do I want to tie? What do I want to tie? What do I not want to tie? I don't know. You tell me. So yeah, there we go, folks. It's about 7 o'clock. I think we'll call it a night. Merry Christmas from my bench to yours, from my family to yours. We wish you the best. And next Talk and Tie will be next year, January 1st, 2017 at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time Zone. Where is my... I don't have my card. I don't have anything that I normally have ready because I was in Christmas mode. Anyways, thank you for joining me. Be sure to click that subscribe button. Check me out, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. But most importantly, here on YouTube, click that subscribe button, hit that share, give me the thumbs up, spread the word, and all that jazz. All right, folks, happy tying, tight lines. Good night. Thank you.